Welcome to Ending the Stupid Gender War. This show is only for intelligent, mature, non-ADHD, non-doom scrolling people only. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And let us go ahead and begin as always, shall we? Alright, what do we have for today's show? Really eager to know. Alright. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Lots of content as always. All right, so the women, what kind of 3 points do they have for the battle for today? The Madonna Whore 2.0. Wow. Starting off strong, aren't we? A man will scroll through a feed of porn stars, follow a dozen OnlyFans models, and lust after women whose literal job is sex. Then turn around and call a woman with 10 past partners. All right, so we're talking about body count today. Used up. You don't want a saint. You want a professionally curated saint who has no history with anyone but you. Your fantasy is a virgin with the skills of a pro, and you hate real women for not being that impossible fiction. Yeah, it is impossible fiction, isn't it? I always say that. Her point is that men's consumption of hypersexualized media creates an impossible standard where they desire extreme sexual proficiency, but demand a fictionalized purity, punishing real women for having any sexual past at all. Yeah, so these are a bunch of idiot guys out there who, I mean, a lot of them don't want a virgin, but a lot of them do. They get to mess around, but the women don't. And even if they're not messing around, maybe they just started dating really seriously. I call it dating because that's just the American way. They started going on intimate relationships from an early age. Let's say, 17, 18. That's really early. Usually in their 20s, absolutely. Or maybe not. Maybe they're just too scared. But body count is a huge problem these days. Let me tell you something about body count. It's not like they're prostitutes. Let's talk about the women, right? It's not like they're prostitutes. So what's the big problem, men? Why does body count matter? Now, if she's an idiot and just sleeping around with guys like a goofball, the red flag should be really evident, like self-evident. You should be like, oh, okay. Well, this girl's goofy. She's just a party animal. I mean, nothing wrong with that. It's freedom is freedom, but you probably don't want to consider her for a possible long-term, lifelong partner, right? I'm just going to put that out there. Unfortunately, a lot of guys, they fall for it because maybe she has great sexual skills. She could get you on the hook. It happens all the time. And maybe you just turn the other cheek when it comes to her high body count. Now, is it any of your business how many men that she's had sex with? Not really. But if you plan to get in a serious long-term relationship, possibly lifelong, yeah, it kind of sort of is. Now, there's nothing you can do about it. Either you love her or you don't. Either you fall in love together or you don't. Body count doesn't matter at that point because you're the next body in line and hopefully the only one for the rest of your lives. That's the way love works. I mean, if I was with somebody with a high body count, let's say 20 men, 50 men, yeah, I'd be concerned. I don't think I would be with somebody like that. But let's say she just stole my heart away. All right, I guess I don't care anymore. If she checks all the blocks, yeah, it would bother me though. It would bother me because that's a lot of penis. Let's just put it that way. I'm not being rude. It is the truth. I understand men 100% when they shy away from that. But I also cringe when men say, we'll get to the men, but I'm just going to give you a preview. I also cringe when men say that, oh, I've been with 100 chicks. I've been with 1,000, like Mick Jagger style. It's so cringe. It's so pathetic. It's the same reaction that I give to the women who say that, they had lots of, what, with men, right? I cringe at both men and women who say this because there's nothing to be proud of. It means you failed 20 times, 50 times, 100 times, or Mick Jagger 1,000 times. That's just saying, yeah, I'm so proud of my failures because all I did was mess around. Which is dangerous, by the way. I don't even have to go over that. So, yeah, I wouldn't be proud of your numbers, your high body count. Now, Can you forgive somebody with a high body count? It depends. What's your threshold? Everybody's different. So to say the Madonna whore 2.0, that's kind of, we have to go with some numbers here. I'm going to throw some numbers out there. She had 5, she said 10. Let's just use 10. We're not going to make this complicated. So she's not used up. 10 past boyfriends, even if there were some marriages, some divorces thrown into the mix, it's still not bad. Is it moderate? Yes. I would say 20 is high, in my opinion. Maybe 15, actually. But 10, yeah, that's in the solid moderate, realistically. I'm talking about like the classic American woman, westernized woman, perhaps. Europeans, I'm not so sure, but they can get crazy too. I'm just going to say 10 is too high for me, but if she really loves me and convinces me 100% that I'm the one, yeah, I guess I could go with her for the rest of my life if that's what she wants. It's mutual. But above 10, yeah, that's probably my threshold. I mean, that's still a lot of guys, 10 guys. But you don't go around calling these women who's had 10 previous partners, failed relationships, a Madonna whore 2.0 or used up goods or whatever. Just mind your own business, okay? You don't need to be insulting women out there. Even the guys, just laugh at them when they say, I've had 20, 50, whatever, and they're trying to brag about it. It doesn't make you look cool. It makes you look stupid, like a freaking failure. So, okay, so number one, how do I conclude this for number one? Yes, she has a point. She's not washed up. It depends on your relationship with her. That's it. So, but now she's talking about the impossible fiction right here where, oh, she has to be a virgin, otherwise she's damaged goods. It's like, yeah, you're stupid. Especially nowadays. I actually promote sex before marriage because you have to know who you're getting into bed with, literally and figuratively, for the rest of your life. If you can't check off the best sex you've ever had and most likely going to last an entire lifetime on the same high level, then no, do not put a ring on it. And you're stupid if you do. All right, so number two, what does she have? The trophy versus tool. You see your own high body count as a trophy proof. That's what I was talking about. As a trophy. Proof of your game and value, which it's not. It just means you failed so many times. Like, I had so many chicks, man. Yo, bro. Oh, my goodness. Yo, I slept with hundreds of chicks. Yeah, that you're a loser. Why didn't you just pick one? Because the power of one, right? Who has the power of 101? That's the chick you want, hotshot, genius. You see ours as a list of damages, like we are cars with too many previous owners. Yeah, she emphasized that in number one. Our same experiences that you brag about are the ones you use to devalue us. That's very valid. It's very pathetic, too, when men do this. It's not about the number. It's about the power to define it. Your number is an asset. Ours is a liability. No, and that's when I believe it's a liability both ways. You both are pretty much failures until you get it right, if you ever get it right. That's the only math that matters. Her point is that the double standard isn't logical. It's about control and valuation. Male sexuality is additive to status. Female sexuality is subtractive. And the imbalance is purely social, not biological. Yeah, so, this goes hand in hand with number one, that men's consumption of hypersexualized media creates an impossible standard. Like, it goes hand in hand. It's an attitude problem. Like your sexual past, the way you see some other person's sexual history, it's like, okay, what does a grown-up, mature man say about that? Oh, that's interesting. And then you make a decision based off of her personality. Is she right for me, though? It doesn't matter who was in her past. We'll talk about emotional baggage later because I know that's going to come up. But yeah, this goes hand in hand with number one. This is really simple. She's just re-emphasizing it, the trophy versus, for the women, it's like liability, damaged car, Okay, damaged goods, right? She said in number one, used up. Okay, got it. Number three, the insecurity disguised as a preference. When you ask, what's your number? You're not looking for compatibility. You're looking for a reason to dismiss me. Well, possibly if it bothers him, right? I mean, that's his right to dismiss you. A low number means I'm inexperienced. Not necessarily. See, that's where the flaw comes into picture, doesn't it? You assume that she doesn't. Sexual skills is not about quantity, it's about quality. You could have one past partner, maybe just one partner, but you are like a sexual tiger in the bedroom. You're already a master because, well, you learn. You're an easy learner, right? You're a quick learner. Maybe you watched lots of porn. Maybe you've heard a lot of tips and tricks. You read about them in magazines or whatever, and you put them to good use. And you say, hey, you know what? It's just like a car simulation. Now I'm driving a real car. So you already have the mental and emotional know-how. You're just putting it into practice, and you mastered it quicker than others. A lot of people, they have a lot of partners, past partners, and they totally suck in the bedroom. Not in a good way. They're garbage in the bedroom. There's no foreplay. There's no romance. There's no massaging. There's no, poetic words being spoken. Yes, that's important, you idiots. All that's important. And they just brag about, well, I got lots of chicks. Or, yeah, I had lots of men. It's nothing to be proud of when you suck in the bedroom, and not in a good way. Yeah, so let's look at this, though. The insecurity disguised as a preference. Yeah, so when you ask them about their number and you dismiss them, that's all. Yes, you have a right to do so. But yeah, the inexperience is totally false. I mean, to each their own. You can have a low body count, but be a sexual master, in the bedroom. A master of sex. Okay, and boring. A high number means I'm for the streets. Yeah, that's such an immature thing to say. She's for the streets. It's so stupid. It's just like, your attitude is for the streets. I mean, what's wrong with the streets anyway? Are you calling her a hooker, like a prostitute? It's so stupid. Like, these are just exaggerations used as insults. And it just says everything about the guy using this. How immature and stupid they are. There is no right answer because the question isn't a question. It's a test I'm designed to fail. So you can feel superior. There's nothing to feel superior about. Like, to each their own. You want a high body count and be stupid, like a failure. Maybe you have severe bad luck. I don't know what the case is. But I'm not going to say you're for the streets, right? And you're inferior. No, you're just running and tripping all up on yourself. You're just tripping everywhere. You're tripping. Superior without having to step up. Oh, speaking about tripping. Your preference is just your insecurity wearing a mask. Her point is that the interrogation over sexual history is often a trap set by insecure men, absolutely, I agree, to justify their own lack of commitment or to assert dominance, as any number can be weaponized. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a game you can't win. If you had two little partners in the past, oh, she's inexperienced, she's not good enough. But if you have too many partners in the past, and everybody's number is variable. It could be 5 partners, 4 partners. Everybody has different numbers. That saying that they say everybody has a price. My price could be lower than yours or higher than yours. It's all subjective. So yeah, these are just a bunch of idiot guys judging women who are just, maybe they have bad luck or maybe they're just immature. Just move on. Why dish out insults? And especially the most idiotic men out there are the ones who say, all women. And then the women, same thing. A bunch of idiot women saying, all men. Blah, 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 blah. All right, let's go ahead and shift gears to the men, shall we? Number 1, the risk versus reward reality. It's not a double standard. It's risk assessment. True. That's true. Okay, we're off to a mature start. Let's see if they can hold this standard. A man with a high count proves he can get women, a competitive skill. Oh, shut up. Oh, my goodness. How can you start off with the true statement and totally ruin it with the next sentence? You see what we're dealing with here, people? Complete idiots. A competitive skill? So then why are you complaining about the women with the high body count? It's literally, the same thing. And that's why we started out the show with the Madonna whore. What does that make you, buddy? That's not a competitive skill. That makes you a Madonna whore. It's the same thing. A woman with a high count proves she gives it away easily. Okay, there you are giving away your penis easily. It's the same thing. Just because you penetrate a woman doesn't mean it's still sex. Which removes a competitive achievement. Why does it turn shame into competition all of a sudden just because you turn the color pink into blue? How stupid is that, right? Well, it's not murder because, it was self-defense. Okay, that's valid. But what you're doing is saying, no, it's not murder because I used a kitchen knife and not a weapon, another weapon, that goes pew pew, that we're not allowed to say. There's no difference. It's taking a life, right? For the same reason, by the way. The logic is just totally absent with this goofball right here. For the next man. Okay, the competitive achievement for the next man? What is this? Like, grab a ticket and get in line and see who has the highest body count? It's really sick. It really is. For men, sex is a conquest. Okay, but for one woman, right? It's not a numbers game. It's quality, not quantity. Genius. For women, it's a gift. The market crashes when the gift is given to everyone. What are you talking about? What market are you? Oh my goodness, man. Call it unfair, but don't call it irrational. Unbelievable, man. The stuff I have to read, I swear. It's the oldest economics there is. Now we're talking about economics? The market and economics? This guy must work at the stock exchange or something. His point is that from a purely cold Darwinian perspective, male and female sexual histories signal different things. No, they don't. Male success and female accessibility. Okay, so the women who got in your pants, that's called accessing your private parts, your genitalia. That's the same thing. You had access to hers, she had access to yours. Or you don't see it like that. Which have historically carried different social and relational risks. What are you talking about? So you get to criticize women, precisely what the women were complaining about. The 3 points that I read. I'm on the side of the women right now. 100%. Let's see if these last two idiots can convince me that the guys have some type of rationale, right? Some type of logical point, because so far they're losing really bad with this first point. Number 2, the emotional baggage claim. You call it experience. We call it baggage. Why? Then you have baggage too. Captain Obvious. You went through the same thing and you boast about it, claiming it's an achievement. It's baggage also. It's experience. That means you experience multiple women like she experienced multiple men. If you want to call it baggage, go ahead. A high body count for a woman after comes with a cynicism, a comparison of every move to an ex, and a transactional view of men that you learn from those experiences. And look at the sarcasm. It's so pathetic. You didn't just have sex. Okay, what did they do? You built a resume of disappointments and expectations. So did you, because you didn't end up with one woman after all the women you slept with. So you're a disappointment. And you had failed expectations because you didn't marry any of them. And now I'm the new manager walking. You're a manager? Walking into a toxic workplace created by my predecessors. This is so sad. That's not insecurity. Oh, but it is. That's due diligence. Wow, what an idiot. His point is that men often fear a high number, not because of purity, but because of the assumed emotional residue. Jadedness, unfair comparison, and hardened expectations that comes with extensive prior intimacy. What is this, Call of Duty? You're on hardened mode? What are you talking about? This is so stupid. Strike 2 for the men. Strike freaking 2. These words are just being used just to be used because you're a guy. And the women, you disrespect women just because they're women, because they have a vagina. That's all I get from number 1 and 2. You're just trying to use these words to substitute what was been literally described by the women here, which is valid, 100% legit and valid. It's all righteous. Where the guys, the problem lies with the guys when it comes to the topic of body count. You guys are so full of stupid with those empty skulls. It's unbelievable. And this is the mess that people have to put up with, especially the women these days. The good women, not the toxic ones. This is what they have to put up with. And you wonder why so many women are so bitter these days. Because they got garbage, trash guys out there like this to put up with. Not all men, but there's a ton of these losers out there. With nothing but nasty stuff to say, they're afraid of real commitment because they don't know how to choose the right partner. Just stupid. Just call them all stupid. That's just there's no other word for it. All right, so number 3. Let's see if they just strike out. I think they're going to strike out. The pair bonding concern. We're told it's just sex, but the science, wow, let's bring out science, ladies and gentlemen, because why not? Science says women release oxytocin. Oh my goodness, stop it. Just stop it. Oh my goodness, dude. This is not it, Chief. The bonding chemical during intimacy. Yeah, everybody should know what oxytocin is, okay? More partners means more fractured pair bonds. So your past failed relationships with all those chicks, those aren't fractured pair bonds magically because you're a guy? I'm not going to repeat that. More emotional ghosts. A guy can separate sex from emotion more easily. Oh, shut the hell up. That is not even possible. So what? You're with a bunch of prostitutes? Because that's all you're talking about is sex without emotion. That means you're just using women as much as they're using you, hotshot. That's right. The women that you've slept with, they're using you. You think you're so cool by sleeping with lots of chicks. Those chicks took advantage of you, you idiot. You don't see that? Because you're no longer with them. It was 50-50. I mean, this is just toxic masculinity right here, which 100% exists. This is what it looks like. And this is just the tip of the spear. Take a look at the entire spear for more, the tip of the iceberg. It goes way more stupid than this. But this is at the helm for sure of just complete stupidity. And I don't call these guys men. I just call them males. But for the sake of simplicity, let's continue talking about these idiotic men. All right, so wow, this is really stupid, I swear. So a high number on her side can signal a reduced capacity for deep attachment, whether she admits it or not. You have a lot to admit to. We're not judging you. You're fun. We're subconsciously gauging your ability to attach to us long term. Like you failed to do with so many chicks that you slept with? That's not experience. That's not competitive skill. You literally failed with all those women that you slept with. It's nothing to be proud of. That means that you're failing perpetually. You suck at finding the right one for you. You totally suck. The higher your body count, buddy, the more that it says about you, that you don't even know what you're looking for. You cannot hold one single successful relationship because you're a failure. That's what it says. There's nothing achieved but failure. And here you are bragging about your failure. You don't even know what attachment is. His point is that, I don't even think he has a point. That some men believe in a biological disparity. Like, stop with the scientific literature. Seriously. This is just scientific jargon going nowhere. And I do understand all of it. This isn't it. Where frequent casual sex has a different, more damaging psychological impact on women's ability to bond, making her a riskier long-term bet. Oh my goodness, just shut your mouth, put a sock in it, the stinkiest sock you can find, shove it down your throat. This is pathetic. All right, so clear victory for the women here. Judgment for the women. Oh my goodness. What a mess, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the garbage I have to go through, but this is way too common to go through. I've seen it all. I literally seen it all. But sometimes I'm surprised, but no, 99.999% I've seen it all. You got to surprise me with the 0.0001 someday. Because this stuff, I've seen it for years, since the men going their own retarded way movement. I've seen it, the red pill losers. You know, to this day, they're still alone. They wasted 10, 20 years of their precious lives. It's not even precious, by the way. Their pathetic lives. You know, just hating women and trying to put them down. Meanwhile, they're the losers because they don't have anybody to love with all their heart and soul. They think that their bank account and their wallets and their career reputation is more important than love. Newsflash. At the end of the day, at the end of your life, none of that matters. You can buy anything you want. You can travel the world 5 times over, 10 times over. But if all you do is mess around with women, aka chicks, you're a loser. It's going to get old. And when you have sex with these chicks, it's just going to feel body on body. Just like that. No emotion. That emotion you were talking about, you're going to be staring at the window. You're going to be like, man, it doesn't matter how hot these chicks are. These chicks are so in shape. They're so hot. Look at these curves. But since you hate women so much, all you do is use and abuse them. And if you don't abuse them, you just use them. Until you run into that titanium wall, 10, 20, 30 years down the road, and you're going to look back. And mark my words right now. You're going to say, man, I really messed up. I don't know what real love is. Yeah, you think? Because you chose to be stupid. So go ahead. Good luck with that. Go live alone in your man cave. Be a loser because you don't have anybody to love with all your heart and soul. And convince yourself every single day. I know you're going to cry yourself to sleep many nights. Go ahead and convince yourself that you're happy. You know you're not. Total loser, I swear. All right, so that is all for today's show. Be sure to binge watch all of these awesome shows shown here. And if you want to be a guest speaker on my new show, Let's Talk About Love, simply sign up as a free member on my website, payhip.com/yourquestforlove. You'll see it in the comment section too. And much love, everybody.